Well, hello, Kelly.
Well, hello, Evan.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for agreeing to be interviewed.
Yes.
Um, what a very big, huge honor and privilege it is for you. I'm just kidding, for me, for us, to to hear, more of your story. So let's just jump right in. Are you amenable to just jumping right in?
Sure.
So I guess my first question would just be, like what's your kind of from all the work that you've done as you've been doing this work, what's kind of your biggest takeaway? Like what's the thing you feel like you've learned the most?
Um, that all these feelings can actually go away forever.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, it's because I was taught most of my life that they would just always be at bay or eventually they would come back and you just have to learn to deal with them or
Right.
learn to manage.
Yeah. So okay. So that's a pretty big thing to learn, and I think you are learning that. I mean, that's the sense that I get is you're kind of moving through some of these, but let's kind of go back and start at the beginning, right? So what was the thing, because you did workshops last year, and but I think doing this sort of the group, the Unlock Your Brilliance community has been better, I would say, right? Just because there's been more interaction, more consistency, I think, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
there's more support.
right. Okay, and so then kind of where were you at when we sort of started this process? When we sort of, I don't know how many months it's been, maybe, I don't think it's been quite 9 months or something, but maybe it's like a
Like
little over six
January?
months. Yeah, January or February or somewhere in there. Right. So I can't do the math. That's like 7 or 8 months. So kind of where were you at then? And I guess what's changed?
Wow. Not in an ideal place.
Said with maximum diplomacy. I love it. Very well done.
But I had no idea how not good it was until I wasn't in it.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. That was just
I thought it
life, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was okay,
Mm.
but once we started doing like going right into the parts and learning about it and then learning how to sit with it, that's when I was like, "Oh my God, there's another way."
Mm. I mean, I feel the same way. There are all these feelings, and I did all this work to try to like you said, manage, and I'm doing pretty well with them. But that's very different than like, oh, I can just allow all this stuff to move through me and come out the other side, and it's just not there anymore. Like that's miraculous.
Yeah, and it's almost like if you told me that before I experienced it, I wouldn't believe you.
How could you? You
Yeah,
couldn't believe me. It doesn't make any sense. That's
yeah.
why that's the toughest part is when we're trying to sort of get people to sort of start to do this. And it's not the easiest thing in the world, but it's not the hardest thing in the world, is it? I mean, it's,
No,
it's pretty doable. It's not like having to move a mountain or anything. But
no,
to
and it's not
get
like you're feeling something different. You're already sitting in it.
right, you're already in hell. You might as
Yeah.
well just be in hell consciously.
Yeah,
Right?
why don't you support the hell?
Well, but the hardest thing is to get past that mechanism, that voice that says, "Oh, forget it. This is hopeless. Why go into that feeling? It's not going to work." Right? And so people don't do it and then they look for an easier way and all of that. But so what's great is that you at a certain point you sort of took this on. So what was the kind of first thing that you dealt with? Because I feel like there was one really big piece that you were working on, and then just recently, like a month ago, we kind of found a new piece. So what, right? Is that
Yeah. The,
yeah? So what was
the
the first
first
thing you
one,
were what was the first thing you were working on?
the first one was hopelessness.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I didn't even know what it was, and I had it my whole life.
Yeah.
And I thought there was actually something wrong with it. I thought I had to live with it.
Right. And isn't that interesting? I mean, you kind of now know it's like there isn't anything wrong with you. Like that
No.
hopelessness was like this weird fever dream,
Mm.
right? And now it's like all that time you thought, "Oh God, there's something really wrong with me. This intense hopelessness that I have. Like I must be broken or something."
Yeah,
And
and like your whole life flashed before your eyes, and you're like, oh wow, like how it interfered with every aspect of my life.
so are you saying that you don't have hopelessness anymore, or are you saying that it's very rare, or what are you saying? Like what's
Oh
your
yeah, it's rare. It's very it's probably like a two.
right,
Like I can physically feel the difference. I
right.
can hear the difference when I speak. Like there's yeah, even in my tone, it's so wild.
Right. And so that hopelessness, which I think, just knowing you a little bit, translated to kind of like outwardly like a little bit of cynicism or that kind of thing, right? So I guess the question is so this was a big block. This hopelessness was like a big gorilla sitting on your chest, so to speak. And now most of the weight of that has come off, if not all. Like you have like for me, like if something like that happens, it's like I come along and I see it and I go, "Oh, I remember you." And I don't take it that seriously, even if it shows up, right?
Hmm.
Um, but so then, how has that changed your interactions with other people and your experience of living and how you're showing up in the world, not having that hopelessness?
There's no barrier
Mm,
between me and the whole world. And I didn't even know that it was there. Even like reaching out to people, friendships, um, things I want, I would go for it, and I there was no second hesitation. I
mm,
even started like getting into a new career.
mm.
Never thought twice. I just got up and went.
That's so amazing. And to me, I mean, it's just like I'm almost in tears over here. It makes me so happy because the notion that um, like you didn't even know that a block was there, and now it's like realizing it and seeing it. It's like I think you can really, because you've experienced it, right? Some of these other people watching haven't experienced this, but you've experienced it. Like there really was a block there. There was like a big energetic block. And now that you've moved it, it's like your life energy can just flow naturally.
Oh
Is that,
yeah, you can
yeah.
physically feel the flow.
Yeah. I mean, that's my experience. And that's my experience again and again, not just with me, but with people who really do this.
Yeah.
So that's extraordinary, I think.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
do you want to say something else?
No, like I was agreeing with you.
And then, okay, so then there was this other block that came up. We were talking, we were in some group somewhere, and we were talking. And what was the thing that came up? Because I remember the energy around it was devastating. It was like nasty.
Yeah, I was a liability.
Right. Like, I mean, that is just even still, the energy of that is like, ugh, it's just like, it's super heavy and super dark,
Yeah.
that energy. Okay, so you've been sitting with it now for a month and a half or 2 months or something like that?
It's probably about 2 months. Yeah.
Okay. And how strong was it when it started?
Oh, it was big. It was like a 15
A
out of 10.
15 out of 10, right? Okay. And where is it at now?
It's I would have to go and find it.
Right. To me, and again, it's so weird because you cannot explain that to somebody who hasn't experienced it. The fact that it's literally just not there. I mean, that is 100,000% a miracle, right? Like,
Yeah, and once again, I did not know what that was. But I thought it was just a part of me and who I was, and I had to live. Can you imagine?
no. I mean, you felt the misery of it. There's no question. But you kind of didn't know it or have a name for it or have a sense of what it was. But I
Mhm.
mean, it's like, energy is kind of my specialty, right? So sitting with energy and feeling other people's energy and all that. And when you said that and I felt that, I was like, whoo, Man, this is really intense and this is really dark. So inside of 2 months, for you to take this thing that is like this dark pall, this like, and that one is for me even heavier than the hopelessness. It's just like this oppressive weight. And for that to be gone where you can't find it, I don't know any other word than miracle.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the difference not having I'm a liability? I mean, that's gotta, and I don't know if other I don't know if other people understand that, but that not being there again allows your life to flow, like to not have that. I mean, I think it's fair to say a great weight was lifted. Is that
Yeah. It's like you're allowed to exist and take up space.
right? Because before you were like, in a sense, you were too bad to be alive. Like you didn't really deserve to be alive or take up space. So how is that manifesting in your life?
I see it with people I know and with strangers, and it just happened this evening as well. People cater to me, men and women. They go out of their way, and I'm just basically existing and not doing anything.
And that didn't used to happen before.
No, I'd be the one going out of my way, and I'd be the one thinking I had to work for my place on the planet. I couldn't just coexist.
Right, right.
Isn't that
Um,
crazy?
yeah, amazing. Well, and I mean, I think now you understand a little bit some of the things I was saying back in the way. I would say, like, look, Kelly, you're amazing. And everybody else here can see it, but you can't because you were under these two huge weights that were just like blocking your vision. It's like having a jail cell and then having like two buildings constructed in front of your window, and you just had a small sliver of daylight.
Yeah,
And it's like now it's like you're out of jail and there's no buildings, and it's like you can see and there's freedom, right? And
that's
and
literally, yeah, what it was like. And it's interesting because I've been doing work on myself since 2004.
I know, and that's what's crazy because it's like I have as well. But the thing is you can do a lot of work in service of the ego and keep all of this stuff in place. I mean, I did 5 programs, and I felt very like evolved and all this stuff. But it wasn't until I kind of stopped working on myself and sort of discovered like giving this over and letting this stuff go because it was all this kind of control, really. I was trying to fix myself.
Yeah,
And do you relate to the notion of in reality, you're really kind of finally letting this stuff be and something else is coming in and healing it and fixing it and changing it, and you're not doing
yeah,
it. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I mean,
yeah,
so I mean, the way you're talking about it, the way you're experiencing it is exactly how I did, right? I mean, you and I can talk about it this way because we have a shared experience. Your experience is exactly what I've experienced, and I don't think that's a fluke. You know what I mean? I don't
no,
think it's somehow a coincidence that we're doing this and talking about this and you're having these experiences, right? Because it's pretty repeatable. If you look at my sister and you look at Stacy and Tracy and you look, it's like all these people were able to completely clear out things like this that were huge blocks and that they didn't even know were there. I think for me, I think that was the one difference with me. I was so aware of my blocks. I was so aware of these things, but other people are just like, I'm trying to get there and I can't, and I don't know why. And
yeah,
so I think that's one of the big values of this is like we can say like, look down here. Here is this huge block. This is why you can't. And so now you see, I think, why you don't have to like add all these skills and abilities and work really hard to try to make yourself better. If you can work on your inside and now people are catering to you, isn't that kind of a better way of doing it?
oh my God, it's brilliant.
Right? So
Yeah,
my guess is now, go ahead.
no,
Yeah, I was thinking you're going to say something and then
and it's
Um,
like, you don't know until you know.
right.
And I didn't know until the universe threw you in a meeting one time in the winter, and I heard you speak, and I was like, I don't know what's going on there with him, but I'm gonna track him down.
Yeah, something resonated, right? And
Yeah.
and that's what I always tell people is like if something resonates for you, that's what you follow. And if it's not me, that's fine. That's fine. And so maybe this will resonate with you for another month, or maybe it'll be another couple of years, and something else will resonate more, and you'll move in that direction, and that's fine, right? Um, my guess though is you're a little bit hooked now.
Yeah, and it's interesting because once you start and you have a handle, you know what to do intuitively. This is not intellect. Um, it's like you start opening them up and they keep coming.
Right.
The blocks are just like I have a few more.
Right. The next one that wants to be healed. It's like they all get in line and say, "Hey, that looks like a good deal. Me next."
Yeah.
Like I want to go. But you said something really interesting there. It's not intellectual. Like this is a very not intellectual process, right?
Yeah.
What I found, and tell me if you found this, the insight, like so in a normal way, like if like let's say you and I were doing therapy or something, in a normal way, we would talk about all this stuff and we would give you insights and stuff, and you would go like, oh, but there wouldn't be much change, right? And so that's kind of what you talked about before. You've done all this work, but it didn't really add up to the freedom that we're talking about.
No.
Um, but so here, when you are with the feelings and being with the feelings, and it's this visceral experience that moves things, it starts to break this stuff apart. It's not intellectual because you're not sitting there trying to figure stuff out, but the insights come. Is that your experience? Like the things that like you go, oh, this is why I always felt this way, right? It comes as a, so that's why I don't let anybody try to go like, oh, I must be feeling this because of this. It's like, no, you just feel the feelings. And if that's true, you will see that clearly, right? You
Hmm.
don't need to get into your head and think about anything. The thinking is a
No.
distraction.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
so
don't even
what's
like label it. I just sit with it. And sometimes I'm in a good mood and I'm like I'm going to sit anyways.
so I think you're entering the next phase. So the next phase, so the first phase is you deal with the shit when it comes up. It comes up and you're like, okay, I'm going to sit with this. I'm going to pull over. I'm going to sit with it, or I'm at home. I'm going to cry for a couple of hours. But then there comes this thing of like, you start being happier because you're a little bit more free, but there's still a lot of junk in the trunk, right? And so then you start being proactive. So even when you're happy, you say, I'm going to take time and I'm going to sit with this because I know that it's there. And I know that I'm going to be walking down the beach one day and it's just going to jump on me. So I'd rather spend time with it now, kind of on my own schedule more so, and be with it and have it come down instead of waiting for it to attack me, right?
Yeah.
Does that sound like the phase that you're moving into?
Yeah, and also I like the fact that I'm actually showing up for myself. It's like I'm building while doing this, I'm building a relationship with myself that I never had. Instead of going around looking for it from other people,
Right.
scratching at the walls for people to help me or support me, I'm not doing it on my own.
Yes. Yes.
And you know
Right.
what's interesting, Evan?
Please tell me.
I've been trying to find support outside of what we're doing, um, and I'm not finding any. And so what happens is I got to go inward. It's
Right.
forcing me to go inward because
Yeah.
there's nothing to grab onto anymore.
I think life forces you inward to find the real answers. And it's like you're finding the real answers inside yourself. And it's
Yeah,
like I think you would agree that all the support in the world is there, right? It's there. It's just you were looking for it kind of in the wrong place. You were looking for it outside yourself,
yeah,
but all the support you need is inside of you, right? It's there already, just waiting to be discovered. And I think that's why these bottoms and this pain is so atrocious because it finally forces you to go in here where all the magic and wonder and beauty and all the answers are. I think that's
yeah,
really why it's set up this way. Because the answers you find on the outside are only skin deep and they only like solve the superficial problems. But I think one of the things you're demonstrating is like you can really use this going inside to solve your outer problems. You don't necessarily have to work in the old way that we've all done on the outer problem. Well, Fred's not being nice to me. I need to speak to Fred and no, I need to go, okay, well, what's going on? Oh, there's this hidden feeling of I'm not worthy of people's time, right? And I heal that. And then all of a sudden, Fred is nice to me and I never had to say a word to him.
Yeah,
How
that
long have you
literally
and Fred been dating? That's a joke, right? Very
kicked
funny.
him to the curb.
Well, you can do that now because you're free.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's next for you? What's the next kind of block or thing that you're tackling?
It come up the other day because we're doing stuff on the side of the step group.
Yeah.
Self-abandonment.
Ooh.
And what's accompanied by it is low-key rage.
Yeah, this is what I've seen. I mean, this has been the big theme of the last month is so the abandonment is terror. And of course, the self-abandonment comes from feeling abandoned by your parents when you were younger, right? So that terror, and then the rage is because, okay, you're not taking care of me. And so my sister, she was working on a block, and it was kind of this kind of fear thing, and she got stuck because she's such a nice person. There was all this rage there, and she couldn't see it. She couldn't even see it. She didn't even know it was there. So she couldn't access it. So that was like the rage and the terror go hand in hand. There is no such thing as terror without rage, and there's no such thing as rage without terror, right? So you want to kind of just go back and forth between those with this. Um, and yeah, God, what is it going to be like when you are no longer abandoning yourself? I think you're going to find that you are not going to be abandoned by others too. You're going to feel more supported by others as well by showing up for yourself.
Yeah.
It's so exciting.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I never saw it before and now it's everywhere.
I know. I
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I'm doing this big shame piece, and it's like I had no idea how much shame was like running through me every second about every single thing. My house, my car, my body, my appearance, everything. Like my son, he's not athletic enough, whatever. It's like, oh my gosh. Like shame was just and the thing that I've been telling people lately is you have to realize that those feelings are not situational. People think, oh my God, I have 100 things that cause me shame. It's like, no, you just have the one thing. You just have shame. Shame is the thing. And there's all these triggers. And so same for you with the
Mhm.
abandonment is you have one core abandonment. But it's everywhere. It's everywhere. And imagine living without that. And you're not going to have to imagine it much longer,
No. And it's
and
funny, it's so subtle. So subtle.
yeah. And you bring up another good point, and we're gonna have to stop soon because otherwise, people are gonna fall asleep because I mean, not that you're not fascinating, it's just we've been going on for a while.
Yeah.
But but it gets more and more subtle because you're getting more and more sensitive. Because in a way, you've been wildly insensitive to yourself, right? Because all the pain was so much that you just said, get away. So that's the opposite of sensitivity. That's numbness. And so what you're doing now is you're coming back into yourself, you're coming back into your body, you're getting sort of centered, and then as you do, you get more and more sensitive. And your tolerance for unhappiness starts going way, way down. You go, wait a minute. No, 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 no. I'm sorry. But then you find deeper and deeper blocks, too. So anyway, I think you're doing an amazing job. And please share with us these breakthroughs when you have them on the thing so that we can sort of stay up. I mean, send us a postcard is what I'm saying. It's like let us know, what's going on.
Yeah. Because also doing this, you feel safe within yourself.
Yeah, right. And are you starting to realize this? Are you starting to realize that anytime you don't feel safe or anytime where you feel like irritated, like that's a part, and maybe you haven't dealt with it yet, but at some point it's like, oh, I'm gonna deal with that. And I'm not gonna have to sort of, right? Yeah, that's starting to live this as a way of life, which I highly recommend. And I'm not recommending it for me per se, for everybody out there, but just because it's just the best damn thing I've ever found. You know what I mean? And I feel like, would you say that? Would you say it's
It's more than the best thing. It's just it's extraordinary, Evan.
right? I mean, yeah. And it's but it's not like I
It's like
invented it. Right? I could be feeling all like, "Hey, I'm pretty good." But it's not like I invented it. It's like it was shown to me. I don't exactly know how to say it. I mean, the way that I experience it is I just lived life so poorly. And I ran into a brick wall going in the wrong direction at 100 miles an hour that it just kind of turned me around. And then in these broken pieces, this is what emerged. So in a very real way, it's just like it just kind of happened to me. And I started to see, and especially when I got into the phase that we're talking about now, this phase of proactivity, that's when things really started to take off for me because it's like you have to be careful because I don't want to get in charge of like going, okay, well now I'm going to take care of this block and then I'm going to be so cool. It's like I have to like let them come up and be sensitive to what wants to get cleared out next. But being proactive, it's like the things that I'm getting rid of and the freedom that's showing up for me, it's just like it's crazy. It's crazy.
yeah,
So, well, anyway, this is a great chat. I'm
it
I'm
was.
sad that we didn't do it sooner, but I guess this is the perfect time.
Yeah, yes, it
And
is.
you did great, and you're doing great, and keep going, and don't stop, and and let us hear about all the successes. And anything else you want to say, just to finish up?
No, I said everything I need to say for now.
Okay,
Stay
okay.
tuned,
Well,
Evan.
I will stay tuned, and you have one job going out from here, and that's just to keep getting happier. Happiness looks good on you.
Thanks.
I mean, I could see all that great worth that you had underneath all those like layers of misery, but it's really nice to see you smiling and see you free and enjoying your life. It's beautiful. It's miraculous. So,
Thank you. Thank you,
all
Evan.
right. Well, have a great one.
Yes.
All right. Cheers. Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you for being interviewed. Is there something else I'm supposed to say? Thank you for being interviewed. Thank you for
Well,
being,
thank you for inviting me onto your show.
you're wel- you're welcome. I wonder if we have like a tagline. I wonder what it would be. I'll probably have to put this in the chat GPT and say
Yeah.
and say like what's the best. So we'll see when we play it, we'll see what the best. And if you hate it, you can tell me and we'll change it.
Okay.
But it's like, okay. All right. Have a great one.
Bye.
Bye.